Hello, friends. You're probably as surprised to see me as I am to be here. So, I am going to do videos from now on. They're about as raw as they can get. I'm calling them phone calls from the moon. And this is why. No plan, just catching you up, just showing you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. No editing. No going back and watching them. No looking at stats. When I look at comments, you will know it because I will have heart the comments. If there are any questions or any comments that I feel like I need to address, I'll do that in the next video. And the reason I'm making these big changes is I need to get my face in the light better. There. Is because I realized the last part of November that I had really kind of messed myself up with YouTube. To put it in perspective, I have been on YouTube for 4 years. And during my break, I realized, wait a minute, in 4 years, I could have gotten a bachelor's degree because I was spending that much time on it between thinking about it, worrying about it, researching it, writing scripts, editing, lots and lots of times editing, and then having it just affect me as a human being. And think about it in 4 years, the habits you can develop in 4 years. No editing, so if you hear stuff like that, you're going to hear stuff like that. So I had really gotten myself into a fix. And it wasn't the fact that I had done a video a day in November. That didn't wear me out. It was a goal that I'd always had to do a video every single day. And I knew I could edit fast enough to do it. And between the lives I did and just the filming and editing, I achieved it. So at the end of November, I was like, yay, I got that done. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit that stuff out. That's the minimal editing. Yeah, because that's really miserable to listen to. Anyway, I realized though that I needed to have a break, that I hadn't really taken a substantial break in 4 years. That's a lot. And so during the break, I did those things. I didn't look at comments. I didn't look at stats. I really didn't look at email. If I had any, I just didn't answer them. I just pulled myself way back and thought, I'm going to see what it is like to live just a normal life like everybody else. Because I had really gotten in the habit of, I can't do this thing because it's not film worthy, worrying about it all the time. When just feeling like I was on all the time. I can't wear this outfit because I need to wear makeup today and these thoughts were going through my head even when I was not making videos. So it took me a few weeks to get past that. And I had originally thought, well, I will make a video and show my Christmas decorations. And then as I worked on decorating, and I just took my sweet time with it and had a really good time doing it, I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So for the first time in 4 years, I didn't make a home decorating tour. I just lived life. I cooked when I wanted, I decorated when I wanted, I did puzzles, I watched movies, I went to Trader Joe's, I just hung out and lived. I talked to my family, I cleaned, I just did, just normal life sort of things. And the more time went on, the less pressure I felt, the more I got over those habits, the happier I started to feel, and the more relaxed I came. or I became. And I thought, boy, I just don't know that I want to go back to YouTube because I don't like how I am when I'm making videos. That I had developed such bad habits that I just don't like how I became. And it's not that you would necessarily even know that that's what was happening to me, but that's what had happened to me. So I really truly decided I can't make videos anymore. I can't go back to that. And then I saw a video, and I actually linked that video in the comments. I came out of nowhere and made a post where I linked to that video because she's somebody that I watched all the time, and then she went absent. In fact, I've seen a lot of YouTubers just go completely absent for a long time over the Christmas break, and a lot of them haven't even come back yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them have been going through what I have been going through. And I saw that she came back and she made a video like I've never seen her make. But she talked about things and she asked a bunch of questions. And one of the questions was, how would you live your life if you knew that no one would comment on it? And I realized, well, that's what had happened to me. I'd gotten over this feeling of, I don't have to explain myself. I can just live. I can just live. So that was a big thing that I realized that is how I had gotten. And there are other questions she's got. And I commented on her video and said, this is why I haven't posted a video since December 1st. Thank you for putting it into words. So that kind of put that back on my mind. And then yesterday I saw a video from a guy who said, going forward, what people should really be doing is just talk and do unedited videos because AI is taking over and it's getting really difficult to find out and find videos that are not AI. And over the break, I completely changed how I watch YouTube. And I went back to just watching people who were just showing their lives and just talking. Because for one thing, I started to get really attached to them. Sorry, the reason I'm clearing my throat is because I haven't talked to anybody yet this morning. So I got really attached to them as people. And I liked how they were just showing their life and everything. But I knew I couldn't do that kind of editing anymore. That editing was consuming too much time. The researching, the scripting, all of that was taking too much time. So when this guy was talking about people are doing just unedited videos with like screenshots and not necessarily any words on them, I thought, well, that might be worth a try. And then I can explain to people, if nothing else, I can explain to people what has happened to me, where I am. And then if it works out this new way, then I can make more videos. And who knows, maybe I'll make them more often. Because I'm going to treat them like they're a phone call from the moon. Now imagine I'm living on the moon. And I have friends on Earth that I want to talk to and catch up with where I am. But it's really difficult to do a two-way, so I won't be doing any lives. That puts too much pressure on me. Dang, I gotta edit because I gotta get all of those out. Anyway, I couldn't. It would be really hard to do like this conversation and for me to check on things too much because I'm on the moon and I'm doing things on the moon. I have responsibilities on the moon and it just is hard. You know, the distance just makes it hard. So I periodically would send my family and my friends some kind of video call and talk to them and everything. And then wait for them to send me a message back. And again, it would probably be like, oh, I got your message and here's what I have to say about that. And I thought, maybe if I just treat it like I'm on the moon. This is a phone call from the moon. This is a video call from the moon. And there's something that caught in my mind that could maybe satisfy these terms of what I have to do in order to do YouTube. I'm sorry I'm talking so much about YouTube and not other things, but you just need to know where I am, what happened, and why I disappeared, and why I truly was not going to come back. And I wasn't going to come back because I mean, I love you guys. You've been so supportive and friends to me. It was because of me. It was because of what it was doing to me. Oh, I just knocked my microphone, sorry. Because of what it was doing to me, what I was doing. But, I had taken 4 years to build those habits. So those habits don't go away. And the worst habit was just worrying about how people felt. I have a quote I want to read you. You can see what a mess this card is because I put it in front of my bathroom sink. This is something I heard in a church talk in October. It says we must seek validation vertically, not horizontally. And as we do, we too can boldly proclaim, I am a child of God. And that idea of seeking validation vertically, in other words, from God, rather than horizontally, in other words, from other people, really hit me. And I've done so much thinking about that. And what have I been doing to seek validation vertically? And of course, the answer for me is on YouTube, and how I was seeking that was to get a lot of views, a lot of comments, so I would know. And then if I got a lot of views, I felt better, and if I didn't, then I felt worse. And I can't control that, and it's not good for me to seek that. It's not good for you to seek that. You cannot control other people, and so to chase that is really, truly destructive. Truly destructive. And I've seen people that have had regularly hundreds of thousands of views, and then all of a sudden they're getting tens of thousands of views, and they go into that same kind of panic where I used to get tens of thousands of views, and then I went down to regularly getting lower thousands or in the hundreds. And there were some big changes in the algorithm in July, August, which made that worse. And I was letting that affect me because I was seeking validation vertically. Like I was a failure. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. And that was so bad for me. But this quote has just sat in my mind and gone over and over and over and over. So I would encourage you to look at your own life and think, am I doing that? And you may think you're not, and you may say that you're not, but if you really do a close evaluation, you might find out that you really are. In some way, you are. Even if it's like, well, I am being defensive about, I just don't want people to, and I'm not accepting it when people are criticizing me or I think. And I found what I do, or what I've done, and I'm really improving since I took the break, is this constant running chatter in my mind about how will people think about this, how will they respond to this, and try to cut that off at the pass by over-explaining. For instance, I got myself a new comforter here. I took down my Christmas stuff, and I just didn't want to put back that one I had on there before. I usually use that for fall. I got rid of my gray one. I didn't want to put on a duvet. I didn't want to put on a white one, and I just wanted something really cozy because you see, I had a foot surgery on December 29th, which is another reason I haven't been back. I'm finally now, so I'm walking around and I'm doing things again, although I still have pain on the top of my foot. I had bone spur taken out, and then I had a cyst on top of the bone spur, which was pushing against my nerve. So I had that out on December 29th. And so I spent more than 2 weeks basically doing nothing. But when I got so I just wanted Christmas out of here so bad. And I found this bedding on Amazon, and the pink, which I wanted the pink, was half as much as the others, because I guess a lot of people don't want pink. When I told my husband I'm gonna have pink, he's like, pink? But now that it's here and it's in here, my family's just like, oh, that's so cozy. And it is so warm. It is so warm. I had decided this year I'm not going to use my electric blanket. I was kind of concerned about what that could be doing to my health. And what I was doing before when I had my Christmas one was I would put blankets on top of that. With this one, I don't need to, because it's not that thick, but it's just really warm and cozy, and I'm loving it. And I wake up in the morning, I feel like I'm in some kind of cocoon. So I took down all my Christmas stuff, and I'm doing some reorganizing. Let's move on to, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and I'll kind of talk through some of what I've done, and we're just going to be random, and I don't know how long these videos are going to be. I'm just going to talk to you until I'm through talking to you, and then another day I'll do another video and I'll talk to you until I'm through talking to you. So that's what's going to be. So that closet, if you're new to me, I'm sorry that when I refer back to things that have happened before, you won't know what they are. And if you want, you can go back and watch some of my videos and kind of catch up. Or we can just move forward and you'll see those things. But I have this closet where I've had these bags that have had comforters and pillow covers and all kinds of stuff like that. And I have to get that down because we've got to bring the paint up from my daughter's apartment in the basement and put it in there. And just currently there's not in there. It's just turned into a disaster. And I'm in the mood, you know, to declutter. You know, I'm not going to be doing any decluttering videos. You might see me decluttering part of my phone call from the moon video. But I've got to get that straightened out. And part of the problem I had is those gray bags that I've had in there. The cat really liked, and she really liked to, you know, claw them and rip them up. And then I couldn't see what was in there very well. So that I end up having to unzip up and look in there and throwing them around, trying to find what I want. So I did some research and I found some different kind of storage things, and I'm really liking them. So you're going to see me go back and forth here. Oh, I can't just flip it around. It won't let me. Oh, well. So I'll just show you. Okay. So here. I found these. They're actually moving for you to move, but let's see. Oh, I know what I can do. Maybe. Oh no. The microphone fell out. I'm gonna get this down, hopefully. Oh, good. You can see now. Phone call from the moon. This is what I'd be doing. Okay, so I got these, and they're really, really nice. Just the shape of them, and I can fit, oh, I have to be careful because I'm sitting right now on my scar. It's on the top of my foot. But I can fit all kinds of stuff in one, and I can see what's in here. So in this one, I have all of the Christmas dish towels, which sometimes I get out for the 4th of July. I have all of my towels. Like here is, you know, the little rug I use in my bathroom. I found things that had gotten lost in there. Like this is a flag that I had. I really didn't realize I had it, and so I bought another flag this year, which I didn't need to. I found a really nice shower curtain I'd forgotten I had, and I had these really nice little shower curtain hooks that I had forgotten I had. And so now I have 3 shower curtains, and I don't need 3, but I'm gonna keep them. And then here it will be really easy because I've got the Christmas curtains that I use, and I put these up this year, and I've learned how to get them up and down really easily. So yesterday I put the other ones back. But I've got those in here. I'm gonna go through the pillows that are still in that closet, and the ones I can take off that are Christmassy, I'm gonna put them in here. Put this flag in here because I still have a little bit of room, and this in here, and then this will be one thing, and I can see what's in here. And this one has all the pillow covers that, like my plaid pillow colors, Christmas ones, I didn't use this year. Got my velvet ones. So I'm gonna go through all the bags in there, all the fall ones and everything, and put them in here. I'm trying to see if I can put pillow forms in here. I'm not sure that that would work. I'm going to try putting comforters in there. I really like these because I could see in them. That's the best thing. And then I bought these other kind of storage things, and they have 2 zippers on them. And you're supposed to be able to put like 2 or 3 comforters in them, and then, you know, you kind of lay on them and zip them, and so that they would go from really tall down to something like that. So I'm hoping they'll work for my comforters because I've got to consolidate what I'm doing. And in the process of going, don't you love this? This reminds me of doing a live. The nice thing about doing these calls from the moods, they're like alive. You can't redo them. You know, but what I used to do too is my videos, I used to go back and rewatch them, sometimes over and over, which is the biggest waste of time ever. Oh, get this bag so you can see better. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is that I'm going to go through these Christmas sweatshirts, and I'm going to, instead of keeping these in my closet, I'm going to put them in there, and I'll decide which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to donate. And if I keep them all, that's okay. But I thought I just got to store these and get them out of my way because they were just crowding my closet too much. And that's what I want to do through the house. Like, get my Christmas aprons and store them. I probably could store them in here. This really holds shape pretty much. And, oh, look at this. Oh. As we go along, I'll tell you stuff that happened. Maybe. I don't know what I'm going to tell you. But I got to show you this. My daughter gave me this. It's really big on me. I've kind of lost weight again, so. But I really like it. You can't wash it, and this is why. Check it out. Can you see this? It's got lights in it. So I've only worn it for like special things, and then I've been really careful if I eat anything on it because all you can do is like wipe something off. You can't wash it because of that. But that was a really cute thing that she got me. This one is really cute, but it's too big, and it's particularly big around the neck. So I'm going to donate that one. And Some of these I really like. I really wear these Christmas sweatshirts all year long, all Christmas long, all season long. And I've had them. I think this is my 3rd Christmas wearing them. And this one has a little bit bigger neck, but I wear a collared, like a polo shirt underneath it, and that looks cute, so I'll keep that one. That green one though, it just, I feel like I look so weird. I love this one, the Griswold. Griswold. And I like to wear a Dickie, black and white check Dickie, and every time I wear it and I go out, someone tells me how cute my sweatshirt is. I'm refolding these so that the design is out. And then I'm also gonna put my fall and Halloween things in here. And I know I have at least one more t-shirt, so I gotta go back in my closet and find those. I wanna fold the design out. And then my Christmas sweater. So this is gonna be full once I get all my fall and Halloween stuff in there. So let me show you some other things that I've been doing. Oh, my daughter gave me this. I got a lot of Charlie Brown stuff. I got so much stuff this year that I'm like, oh. And then my daughter said, well, maybe we ought to give you something else next year. And I said, that's good. Oh, you're not going to be able to see this, I think. My husband gave me these Charlie Brown socks, and they are so comfortable, and they're not too thick. So I love them, and I'll be wearing those all year long. Some things I've been doing. I started my kind of New Year thing yesterday. I'm really behind everything, but I have done vision boards in the past. But what I did is I got this. Bring these over. Collecting some things to show you. I got this from Amazon, and it has all kinds of like pictures on different topics and, you know, words and stuff, because this is a heck of a lot cheaper than buying a bunch of magazines. And so then what I did is I just made one little page for every kind of topic, and just kind of themes that made me kind of think about what kind of life I want to have this year, and had fun gluing those in. And then these are some questions from that video I saw, and I have adapted some of them, and I've started editing them. And like one of the questions that really hit me is, if no one could comment on your life, what would you change immediately? And what are you doing just so people don't misunderstand you? And I've told you I have over-explained. And what does your body keep asking for that you keep ignoring? What part of your life deserves privacy over performance? And that was a real big thing that hit me too, because I haven't kept some things private that I really should have been keeping private. And because of all the conversations that were going on in my mind, those are performance type of conversations about what will I do, and you know, how will I make a video about that? And so you're thinking about performing, and I can't live that way anymore. What have you carried that you've already proven doesn't work? It's like, if I keep doing the kind of videos I used to do, then I'm perpetuating a failure type situation, because you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. So when I started thinking, well, maybe I'd come back to YouTube, I had to come up with a different way of doing it. And I kept thinking, how could I do it? And why should I even come back? Why would anybody care? And what value could I provide? And, you know, I'm such a different person, different looking person, different age of person than most of the people on YouTube. So I really had a lot of those questions for myself. And if your health mattered more than any fear, what would your life look like? And I've had a fear, truthfully, because I do have fibromyalgia and I've talked about it too much. But there are people out there that have it or have other health challenges and they've related to me because of that. But when you're talking about it so much, then it puts it in your subconscious that I'm sick. And then I think that it may make me sicker when I'm thinking about it and talking about it all the time. And it was keeping me stuck in that mind frame, and I can't do that anymore. It's like if I'm doing these videos and I'm really not feeling good, then I maybe would tell you then, but I shouldn't talk about it in between. It's like, except for recovering from my foot surgery, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Maybe I won't. I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to edit those clearing out my throat things. I'm just not. I'm not editing. I've got to not edit. Okay. Another thing I've really gotten into, and I actually started this in November, is I do scripture writing. Look at these. I love my books. My husband saw it. He said he came in here one day and got it out and just went through it, and he was like, whoa. And so what I do is I write a scripture here, and then I write all the cross-reference scriptures, and all of these yellows are when I am highlighting the names of God. So I color those, and then all these when I'm coloring around, I'm reading the scripture out loud, and it usually takes me 3 or 4 times, and that's helping kind of cement the scripture in there. And then every time you see a line, it's because I've started a new scripture, and then I'm just having fun making it pretty and putting stickers in there. And I love it. It's probably the favorite way I've ever had of studying scriptures. So I do that all the time. And then I've shown this book before. It's where you do puzzles with stickers. Like, I'll show you some of them. I did this one last night. And I've done these. I have found these to be really relaxing. And at night, if I'm kind of wound up, I'll do one of these. And so you just pick one of the puzzles, then you go back and you find the sticker set, and then you just sit there because they're numbered where it goes, and you just put it, you just fill it in. And you can't worry about making them perfect because they usually end up not perfect. There's usually gaps between the stickers a little bit. But I'm really enjoying this. And when I run through these, I'll buy another one. I bought this originally at Barnes & Noble, but they don't always have them. And I found out that you can get a lot of different kind on Amazon. So they're called Brain Games, Sticker by Number, Enchanted Forest. And I'm not going to be taking time to link things. So I'm just not doing the kinds of things with the videos. So just write this down if you're interested in that. And then I've read some books, and I've had this book for a long, long time, for like 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, and I just never got around to read it. And this is like a set of like 13 videos, and I'd bought the first one at Barnes & Noble. It was $7.99. I finally got around to reading this. I really, really like it. And so I bought the second one. The second one cost me, I don't even know. It's not marked. It was more than $7.99 though. And I really liked it. Then I looked it up on Amazon, and it cost me like over $100 to get the series. But then I found out that Amazon Unlimited and Kindle Unlimited has all of them. I was like, yes, because I subscribe to Kindle Unlimited, and it lets me read books and lots of series and stuff. And so I was really excited to see the series on there. So I'm in the middle of reading the third one, and I don't think I read any other books. I just been doing things that I find enjoyable. Okay, let's go downstairs. I've got my glasses just hanging on my sweater because of the glare. My son's in there, he's sick, so, but I've got a grocery list. I need to put in a grocery order. And we didn't get the Christmas down for a long time. In fact, I'm still in the process of doing that. But my husband really helped me. He took down the garland. Oh, the garland was so pretty. My decorations were so pretty, but it was so nice to just do them and not worry about showing them off. So, in fact, I liked it so much that before I had my foot surgery, and Gary was taking down the Christmas tree in there and stuff, and the garland. And I ended up decorating this tree in here again. I thought, well, maybe I'll keep it up through January. And I made it so it was more like winter themed. And it had like blue and green and white and frosty things. And then when I got well enough I could do something, I thought, no, I don't want to keep that thing. So I got that down and got this all cleaned up by this weekend. And so I'm back pretty much to normal in here. I have a little bit of winter in here, and it's like right here, you can see this right here. A while ago I had cleaned this out and decluttered this so I could put some decor in there, and then I realized, man, I don't really have that much decor when it comes to certain kinds of things. So I just grabbed these candles, put them in there, and they're fine. But I think I'm gonna do some thrifting because there's some art I want to get. And like, I've had this great big ginormous picture, and I had put it over the piano at one point, and I realized I don't like it, it's too big. So I'm gonna donate that. And then I'll show you what this is doing. Oh, the wallpaper's coming today, so I'll just show you another day. But I have, with all the pictures and stuff I put in here, I've just, over the years, I've just racked it. And there's so many holes, and I realized I don't want to do that. And I have thought about either painting it or wallpapering it, and I've decided I'm gonna wallpaper it. And so I've got some wallpaper coming. I hope will work. And if I like that wallpaper there, I might put it on that back wall in the living room where the gallery wall is. So we'll see. And I think it will go really well with the rugs, so we'll find out. So that's, meanwhile, that wall looks terrible. But I didn't want to, hi Julianne. I just didn't want to go back to not having any light in this room. And so I decided to leave certain things up. Like I left the pencil tree up. I brought in the white birch tree, which had been on the porch, but I've had it in here before. In fact, when I first bought it, I kept it in the living room during this time of the year. But I don't know, and it's just really nice. You start a fire and you have the cozy. So I thought, I'm gonna leave this up in here as long as I want. And so when I was started going through the bags yesterday, I found that I had these really nice, and they're really nice, wool throws. And I just haven't been using them. So I brought them down here, put them in here, and I'd forgotten I had these pillows, which are just pine trees. So it just looks kind of cozy in here. It's really pretty simple. Like I just have my white houses up here, which I put in here all the time. I just brought in some pine trees. This is something that I got at Savers like 3 years ago, and then I didn't use it for a year. But I think it's perfect in these situations. And some guy had oil painted this. It has kind of like a scratch here, which is why I think it was at Savers. It cost me very much, but I think it's pretty. So I just thought, I just keep this in here. And let's go in the kitchen. Now the kitchen's a mess. Hasn't been cleaned up this morning. And you keep in mind that I have spent over 2 weeks with a foot surgery. So I haven't been taking care of stuff. But, so I haven't done the dishes or anything like that this morning. It's just what it is this morning. But I did get over here. Can you see? Yeah. I did get the shelves all unpacked. What day is it? It wasn't yesterday, it was Saturday. I got all that Santa Claus stuff out there and unpacked. So I'm going to be putting my blue plates up there. I've got the little pine tree service because I'm going to put those up there. So this room will just have like blue and greens. And I'll show you one of something I did in December. It was pretty big. And I've been thinking about doing this for years. And I am just in love with it. I wallpapered the bathroom. Let's see if you can see in here. But so it's like a toile, but it's got trees on it. It's got pine trees. My granddaughter said, well, it's like Christmas. And it looked really good with Christmas. It's like Christmas. I said, but well, I'm going to show you something. If you stand here, okay, so I'm standing in the middle and I turn here, what do I see? I see trees and pine trees. And so now if I turn here, I see trees and pine trees. To me, I just think I love it. I love it. And so I won't be doing so much moving things around. It's just going to have like nature in here. This is a piece of art I usually keep in my bedroom. But I've got some other things coming from Amazon that are just nature, and I'm going to bring blue in here with the art and with the towels and stuff. So this room will be green and blue. Right now I just have these things up here, but it's just going to be simple, and I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I still have the cutting board down there that goes on top of the stove. I put it in there on Christmas Eve. Oh, we had a really nice dinner on Christmas Eve. So, oh, I see I have some Christmas aprons in there that I might pack away. I'm not sure. But I haven't put away the Christmas. Oh, move. Ow, move. Move. She got hit my foot with her tail. I still have a red tablecloth on here. Oh, I have to turn it around like this. I always have to remember because that light coming in that window. But I want you to watch me doing this. Get this over here. Boy, I hope this microphone is really working because I'm not going to be editing the sound. I used to really edit the sound and make it feel all warm, and I'd cut out all my breaks and all my mistakes and all of that stuff, and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Anyway, this is not fancy at all. I'd asked my husband to put it away for me, and then the boxes I had it in were all just destroyed. So he said, well, I have to collect some new boxes. And I thought, well, there has to be a better way of doing this. And it occurred to me yesterday that I could get some, you know, these things where you actually store, they're meant to store dishes. Let's see, oh, that would be for something bigger. I have to figure this out. Oh no, this would be for the plates. But these Christmas dishes aren't any prizes. They're just from Dollar Tree. But I thought there has to be a better way of doing this. And then it occurred to me yesterday, I'll get one of those things that are meant to pack away dishes and solve your problem. Because I had like 3 different boxes. And then they were full of just like trash paper and bags and stuff, and it was a mess. It was a mess to pack them up, and it was a mess to get them down, and so I didn't get them down until Christmas Eve this year. But I had thought all month, I'm gonna get those down and swap them out for one of my other chinas, and then just use them all month long. Have fun using them, and I just never got around to it. But maybe this will make it easier, so I can do that next year. Okay, look how easy that was. Maybe I ought to bring in some of that paper and put in there. Ooh, that's heavy. Okay, so now I've got these, and I've got these where I can put little dividers in there. So maybe, can I put the bowls in here? I had to go get that trash paper and stuff and pad these in here maybe. How can I do like this? I don't know. Would this be better? I've never had these kind of storage things. Oh, that kind of fits in there a little tighter. I don't know. Have you ever used these before? Now that knocks a little more. See, I have some other plates that I got at Pottery Barn, and they're just like kind of red and black plaid. But I have a place for them in the cupboard, so I don't have to store them like these. Anyway, so I'm doing that. Trying to think. I was going to make a bunch of cookies and stuff, and I ended up not doing any of that. I bought all the stuff I needed for like Rice Krispie treats, and I usually always make those. And I didn't do that this year. Think of what I just kind of hung around. I don't know if you saw my living room. I had the puzzle table up there. I was just sitting on the bench, and I worked on that puzzle. My daughter had given that for my birthday. It's a Christmas puzzle, Charlie Brown puzzle. And I've come to a really hard part. And she's worked on it a little bit. She's a really good puzzler. But I'm determined. I'm not putting this one away. I put the Halloween away because it was too hard. It was too hard for her too. Because it got up to the top part and it had the Happy Halloween. Okay, this is not gonna work in there. What do I do with these? Maybe they'll work in here. Okay, they're gonna work in here better. I've got all these different kinds in case you have like those little plates, which I don't have. Just bowls. I don't think I can get these in there too. These bowls are really big, but they're good for cereal. Okay, that's not gonna work in there. So we'll just do the best we can with this. And let's see about this. This has dividers. Now, I would think that it would have. I want to make sure you can see. No. I'm out of practice here. There, I think you can see better that way. So, anyway, what else was I going to tell you? I made bread. Actually, I put off making sourdough bread for so long that my sourdough got, it got moldy, and I was so unhappy about that. But fortunately, I was able to get that same sourdough again. It's from San Francisco. It's 240 years old, and it's just delightful sourdough. And when you get it, it just starts up again really, really fast. So I've made some sourdough since then, and I got it ready yesterday so I can make some today. Because I've been doing a lot of like reading about what we're supposed to be doing health-wise, and you know, they just released a new what do you call it, food pyramid, which I was really happy to see, because I just knew that the old one just wasn't great. I just always knew it, with all of those grains, and they tell you to eat all that those Cheerios, and I didn't know, and now it makes perfect sense to me that the food companies are behind that. So, okay, I am going to have to use one of those boxes to put the rest of this stuff away. Look at this. I have two cups left, and where are they? 2 bowls. But it's pretty much put away, and I can get this other stuff in one little box. And just need to pack. This is good. This is good. I'm pretty close to finishing that. And I need to clean the kitchen. But I'll just think about it. I'm looking forward to decorating those shelves. That's like my reward when I get the other things done. So it's all good. So I'm kind of out of thinking of what to talk about today, but that's fine. What's the best thing to do is just like to add some comments. When I read your comments, you'll know, because I will have liked it and hearted it. And I'm the only one who can put a heart on a comment. So you'll know that I've seen your comment, and I love reading them, and I love you. You just need to know I'm on the moon, and so I'm not going to hover over them. I cannot hover over them. I cannot, because it was really bad for me. I'm just going to have to pick like one time and just read through them, and then maybe pull out some comments I want to talk about, or answer some questions I want to answer, and the next time I just have a phone call from the moon. And so that's how we'll communicate. And I hope this is going to be good for you, and just know this is the only way I can be on YouTube. It's just the only way, because I can't mess myself up like I had messed myself up. And I love you. I'll talk to you again. Bye.